We talk with the gangster who some say started it all.
You're not gonna like this.
He stands in front of a prison wall and shows us his tattoos. His nickname is Bullet. His real name is lost in a list of aliases. His gang affiliation is not.
I'm 100% proud to be an 18th Streeter.
18 is spelled out in large letters across his chest.
I think I'm gonna die an 18th Streeter.
18 is emblazoned on his forehead, and the 666 symbol for Satan is freshly carved into his hand. 3 times 6 equals 18.
Yeah, I just did this.
Yeah, looks like you just did it.
Yeah, I'm going straight to hell.
You sure of that?
I think so. I'm one of the bad guys.
Actually, cops say he is more than just one of the bad guys. Here is why.
In this barrio, 18th Street is written all over the walls. And this isn't East Los Angeles or South Central. This is Honduras. And the clique here is called Hollywood 18th Street.
Hollywood 18th Street imported from Los Angeles.
Put 18th Street. I think.
The gang signs. The tattoos and baggy clothing, the monikers or nicknames, and the attitude, all vintage LA gangster style. These Honduran Hollywood 18th Streeters, ages 14 to 18, tell us, what happened is homies came here from Los Angeles and then influenced the rest of them. Now, 18th Street has spread across Honduras like a disease. Police say Bullet is the main carrier of the virus.
They hate me, man.
And that these teenage gangsters look up to Bullet as if he were a god. Bullet denies he's a gang boss, insisting he's more of a teacher.
Well, there's a lot of people here that they don't know what a damn thing about what a gangster is. You know what I mean? What I do is I show them the ropes, you know?
As a child, he came from Honduras to live here on LA's West Side, the birthplace of the original 18th Street gang.
I went to Berendo Junior High School. Then I started seeing gang members and I wanted to be like them. So I joined the neighborhood.
He was hanging out on these street corners selling drugs at the age of 12. In and out of jail for years, Bullet was a 2-striker in the U.S. when he was deported in 1995 after serving a prison term for drug dealing. Back in the city of San Pedro Sula in Honduras, he says he went to a wedding with the fellas because they needed a gun.
Take the gun.
A fight broke out and someone tried to take it.
As I was pointing it, right? So I just shot him once. I didn't really mean to kill him, I'll be honest. He died because he wanted to be Superman.
And faster than a speeding bullet, he was sent to an Honduran prison for 12 long years.
I've never been in hell, but I think this is one of the first stops.
His reputation as a gang boss buys him some respect here among the inmates. But in his own words describing his life, he says, "I'm nothing good. I'm no future."
If you're gonna join a neighborhood, be ready for the worst. Be ready for places like this.
Bullet has 300 roommates in this concrete prison the size of a basketball court.
This is my house.
He sleeps in a room that has wall-to-wall beds. His gangster status gets him a view.
Nobody wants to be in a place like this.
There are only 4 bathrooms. The only shower here comes out of a bottle.
This ain't great, man. It ain't happening, man.
Unless you have money to buy extra food, it is beans and rice for breakfast and dinner. He doesn't recommend the gangster lifestyle.
Youngsters out there, hey, don't follow my lead.
On the other hand, he doesn't apologize for spreading 18th Street into the barrios of Honduras.
If I wouldn't have done it, somebody else would have done it. And it would have been worse, probably, because they wouldn't have the game that I got here. You know what I mean?
Bullet was transferred here after a riot erupted when rival gangsters attempted to kill him at another prison. He says an enemy gang and a police death squad both want him dead.
They're just waiting for me out there right now, just to take me out.
So if he gets out of prison, Bullet says he's headed back to L.A. as an illegal.
Because I'm not staying here. If I stay here, I'm dead.
And as I shake hands goodbye with this gangster, and wonder how long before word comes that he is, in fact, a dead man, He sends a message back to L.A.
Big 18, 18th Street lives in Honduras.
Citizens of this Central American nation are scared. Last year, angry Honduran vigilantes killed about 50 gang members, some hacked to death with machetes. Gang members complain police death squads shoot them down in the street. As a consequence, gangsters are assassinating cops at an alarming rate. And as we see in this Fox Undercover report, Honduran prisons are filling up. Small arms reach through cell bars and make gang signs. 14-year-olds with gang tattoos all over their body. MS for the Mara Salvatrucha gang. Graffiti from MS and 18th Street is all over the walls. This is the El Carmen Juvenile Prison in rural Honduras. An armed escort was assigned to follow us in. Just 4 years ago, the kids locked up here were the abandoned and homeless caught for stealing on the streets. But today, it is filled with gang members. A 20-foot wall has been built to keep them inside. A mob of gangster inmates trying to escape recently beat this guard unconscious. He's supposed to have mace for protection, but there's no money for it. This 17-year-old MS gang member was deported from the U.S. The oldest here is 18. The youngest is only 9. The laws here protect juveniles from long prison terms. So on the street, the gangs now use these kids to commit robberies, assaults, and murders. And according to this 18th Streeter, everyone in a gang has to do drugs. If you don't, they jump on you. The young gangsters here, he explains, want to do whatever they're doing in Los Angeles. That bothers Magdalene Centeno, the chief juvenile crime detective in San Pedro Sula.
Para ellos es su jefe, solo porque viene de Los Ángeles. Lo
Just
admiran.
because a gangster comes from Los Angeles, she says, these kids admire him. They imitate his attitude, the tattoos, and consider him a leader. Cholos, like 25-year-old Scrappy, an 18th Street gangster deported from Los Angeles a year ago.
The people over here, you know, a lot of youngsters, right? You don't got no old men over here. You know, it's for the police is tripping out for me and then all the homeboys.
Tattoos boast of the 5 years Scrappy spent in some of California's toughest prisons. He has a gold 18th Street emblem embedded in his teeth and a new home in Honduras behind bars. Crammed in with a general prison population in Puerto Cortez, isolated from all but a few other gang members. Scrappy doesnst like it.
That's the problem I having over here to Honduras, because to the police, because them to me too much. To me, it's only for my tattoos. You know, I can do nothing over here.
Scrappy, seen here as a troublemaker, was transferred from another prison where most of the gang members are locked up. Our interview was cut short when inmates were overheard planning to beat us with clubs and take our money. But it is here at El Presidio that most of the adult gang members are imprisoned. No TV news crew had ever before been allowed inside. Nearly 2,000 inmates in a facility built to hold half that many. The conditions are crowded, crude, and creepy. We are looked at with suspicion. But 3 18th Streeters eventually agree to meet with us. Only Artur does any talking. First, about the war with MS.
The 18 are good warriors, yeah man, in everywhere, like my homies too. We give the life for the barrio.
He says 3 homies were recently killed in fighting here, but stresses that 18th Street now has the power in this prison.
Remember forever.
Artur says his clique, called the 75s, is from San Francisco. But there are plenty of 18th Streeters here from Los Angeles. Deportados, the deported.
The trouble with the police too, man, you know. Yeah. I'm too tired of being deported.
The vast majority of these gangsters dropped out of school before the 6th grade and come from broken homes. Here, their tattoos make them unemployable. But they all find comfort in a new family. In this case, it is called 18th Street.
The people who don't work in the cliques say, you know, understand, the cliques is like your family, man. In hard times, the barrio helped me in every actions.
Actions recounted in the daily newspaper.
It's plenty 18 here.
Beating and assaulting, taking hostages for money.
It's coming the arrest from the Angeles, you know.
Killing shop owners, innocents, and each other. Even carrying out a hit on a local TV newswoman.
Later on, I come back to LA. No worry about it. No worry about it but that. When I get out to the prison, I'll go over there.
Gang workers in Honduras are upset that the USA dumped gangsters in their nation without first trying to rehabilitate them here. Those here who favor the deportation say, good riddance to bad rubbish. They're your people, not ours. Meanwhile, the gang problem continues to go in Honduras and here in Southern California.